Hey guys, happy Monday. Welcome back. Hopefully, we're coming off of a great weekend for everybody. It is Monday. It's time to get back to it. This week, we're going to be covering the upper body pull movements that we assess in our level method and kind of the common problems that we see when doing these things if you're not doing them correctly, or maybe your movement patterns are a little off, maybe you just don't have quite the strength built up. So, when we're looking at upper body pull, whether you're going horizontal, being like a row of some sort, or we're working on an overhead or vertical pull, being a chin up or pull up, pulling yourself to a pull-up bar, maybe doing an assisted version of that. Common theme we see is one, shoulder issues, yes, but kind of already covered shoulder a couple weeks ago in our upper body pressing. But with pulling, we're going to see also a lot more issues at the elbow joint. So we're looking at the elbow joint. There's some things to consider. Like we've talked about before with our other areas, you got to look above and below. So not necessarily you might have pain or some kind of discomfort in your elbow, but that might not be the problem actually in your elbow joint. It might be stemming from maybe down your forearm and your wrist, or maybe up into your tissue above, maybe even in the shoulder girdle as well. So don't always think, okay, my elbow hurts. The problem is my elbow. I need to get my elbow looked at. No, always assess other things. So maybe you don't have proper range of motion of your shoulder, and that's affecting the movement of your elbow when you're doing an overhead upper body pull or pull up. Maybe you don't have very good wrist extension or wrist flexion, and maybe your forearms are really stiff and tight, and your forearm muscle tissue is not moving very well. That is also going to impact your elbow joint. So when we look at this, you probably need to work on mobilizing the wrist, work on mobilizing and giving attention to the forearm tissue to get this moving a little bit better. And I would also focus on the bicep, tricep, which are connected to the elbow and up in the shoulder. And I would also assess shoulder range of motion and shoulder overall movement pattern. So you're probably lacking in one of those areas. Maybe it's just movement pattern or range of motion, or maybe your tissues just have some sticking points to it and you just need to break those up a little bit. But just because you have pain in your elbow does not mean the problem is lying in the elbow joint itself. So remember that. Don't just jump the gun. Remember, try to fix the problem areas before just totally avoiding the movement. That way you can get back to doing the movement and doing it safely and pain-free. So, like always, guys, reach out if you have questions. If not, be on the lookout for more about the upper body pull movements later in the week. Thanks, guys. Enjoy.